Hi guys, and welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. My name's Hayley for anybody that's new, and today is a longer What's for Tea. I've included 2 full recipes. First up was chicken curry. This is the Mayflower curry sauce. We really enjoy this, and the kids do. Steve had it with bang bang rice, or was it katsu rice? One of the two. This was the chicken schnitzels that we got from the Herons Hall, and it was pure meat. It was absolutely beautiful. But it's so big, we could only eat one. But absolutely beautiful. We tried a few things from that haul, and they were lovely. This is a really easy and frugal pie. And this is one of the recipes I'm going to do. This was beef stew and some dumplings. Nice thick gravy. Ready for some crusty bread. So these were the fish cakes. One was chorizo and cod, and the other was smoked haddock. Both were lovely. The best one though was the ball. That one was the best one. With rabbit food and some potatoes. Crispy strips, also from Herons. Lovely. Took literally about 9 minutes in the air fryer. It says 2 minutes on the bag, but that's deep frying. So here's that frugal pie recipe. Just got some sausages of your choice. Here I've used half Lincolnshire, half Cumberland, because I've got like loads in the freezer. And I've just cooked them until they're maybe 3/4 cooked through. Take them out. Now I've already got this recipe in my Frugal but Hearty series. Now if you are interested in frugal recipes, just let me know and Steve will link that series for you, because I've got a lot of new subscribers who probably are not aware that we did do a frugal series. So I've added in half a very large onion, some mushrooms and some small diced carrots. I don't think I had carrots in the original recipe, but you can put in what you want. I mean, I had these in my fridge that needed using up, so that's what I used. But do try to use the onion and mushrooms. I just had, like I say, added the carrots. And we're just going to cook these down until the vegetables are cooked a bit. I'm adding some garlic. You don't like garlic, don't add garlic. And this is that mushroom ketchup one of my lovely subscriber friends bought for me, and it's absolutely lovely. I do recommend it. Some thyme. You can of course use Worcestershire sauce or nothing if you don't want to. There is one ingredient I do insist on, and that's coming up. So you can see there's not a lot going into this. The taters are on the boil. What's gone in so far is nothing expensive. That was only 1 carrot as well. So I'm just going to cook these down as such. This is the ingredient I insist on. Marmite or yeast extract. I can't stand it, and I've said this multiple times, and I can't, and it's a heaping teaspoon. But it adds such depth of flavour to this. I highly recommend, even if you buy one of the smallest pots available just for cooking, I do highly recommend it. So I've got my beef stock here. What I did with the beef stock, or you can do it with just water, is I've separate 50 ml of water with 2 heaping tablespoons of cornflour. And mix them together, and that'll be your thickener for this. Obviously you've got to mix cornflour with cold liquid, and that's what this is here. Look, I just used a little bit of water. I will link the original video that I did underneath in the description box. I won't list all the ingredients and everything. It's pointless when there's already a video on it. But there's so many videos, I'm thinking that people are just not aware that a lot of them are there in the back catalogue. So I'm going to start to go through them. It's one of the reasons I'm starting to add them into my meals of the week. So I'm adding the sausage back in, and then what I'm going to do is just simmer this for a bit. The gravy will thicken up. Potatoes are cooked. So it's already starting to thicken up now. Nice and glossy. So I think there's about, don't quote me, I think there's about maybe 8 videos on the Frugal series. Even steaks there on the Frugal series. So if you want to cut back, especially before Christmas, save some money, I recommend checking that out. So for bonfire night, for you guys over here in the UK and whoever celebrates, we usually have parking and some bonfire toffee. Both are on my videos list. I've already done them. If you would like those recipes ready for bonfire night tomorrow, again, just let me know and I can link them so you don't have to go hunting them down. All you're going to do is mash your potatoes the way you would normally. For this pie, we like them particularly soft, fluffy. And I do my potatoes different depending on what pie I'm making and how long it'll be in the oven. So basically this has only got to go into the oven to make sure it's piping hot throughout, and that the cheese on top of the potato, because there has to be cheese, you do not have to add the cheese if you don't want it, to make sure that's melted and crispy on top. I do recommend you put a tray underneath this pie pan because it's got liquid in it. It is going to bubble up the sides and you don't want that all over your oven. Speaking from experience here, guys. This pie is lovely. I should make it more really because it's so cheap to make. Blowing bobbles around my wrist, you know, as I go through the house. I don't know if anyone else with daughters is the same, but no matter which room I go into, I find them everywhere. They never put them back where they're supposed to. So I had some mozzarella left. I'm all about using up what's left. A little bit in the packet, and then I added some cheddar as well on top for flavour. And you'll see why it's a good idea to put that tray underneath. There we go. And it's so good, guys, honestly. And it doesn't see gravy, look. And it doesn't take long to make. So if you are interested in this, I can link the entire video with the list of ingredients for you. That will be in the description box. So we get to Sunday and we decided on a change of meat. I've got duck in and I've got a pork and I've got a beef, but I didn't fancy it. Didn't fancy it at all. So I got Steve to grab a chicken. And the chickens now, they say large on them, but they're so small. There was very, very little left of a whole chicken after lunch yesterday. So as usual, because I'm adding some sausage meat this time, I'm just cooling it down quicker by pushing it up the sides. And there's some good quality Lincolnshire sausage. These are what was left in the garden. I'm literally just using them up. You see how small. These are just the Chantenay ones. Some of them are obviously very small. But I'm quite happy to use them. They have been washed, guys. They're so sweet. Those of you that grow your own, they're so sweet, aren't they, when you grow your own? The taste is completely different. White cabbage. I do have white cabbage left for in the week, so should I do a casserole, white cabbage will go into it. It did Sunday dinner, it did the beef, some in the beef stew. It doesn't lose its texture in the stew even though it's cooking all day. So I really do like the white cabbage. Steve does prefer the Savoy, but it's not as versatile. And usually with the Savoy, after the Sunday dinner, whatever's left, it ends up getting wasted. And I really don't like waste. My Caitlin absolutely loves cabbage. Never thought I'd hear myself saying that. All the veg that was available, apart from parsnips, none of us except Steve eat them. She had every single bit of vegetables. She's a good lass with fruit as well. And most salad. Amy will only eat the carrots. I keep trying. All you can do is try. So the parsnips here, these parsnips are for Steve. And these will just be roasted with the new potatoes. In a couple of weeks I'll be going to get my Christmas meat. I always get it at the same time each year. I literally have to wait until I've cleared out a full shelf in mine and Steve's freezer. We have a freezer that holds the kids' stuff and some of ours. And then there's our freezer which holds like joints of meat and stuff like that. So I have to clear a shelf on our freezer to hold the meat that we'll get for Christmas. So, yep, that will be coming soon. And in that video I'll show you what I get and how I sort it and prep it into the freezer ready for Christmas to limit what I have to do at Christmas. So some sprouts. I wasn't even aware until I was rooting through the freezer, putting the heron chopping away, that we had a bag of Brussels sprouts, but there you go. So use some of them, and Caitlin as well, she eats those with Steve. So I had a few red potatoes left, as you can see they needed using, and I only used a small amount for mashed potato. So these were fine for that. And in the large measuring jug, that's where I'll put the roast potatoes. And I used Maris Piper potatoes for those, because they're the best, usually. That's all cooled down now. If you're not going to use it straight away like I wasn't, make sure you cool it down. You can't add cold meat into a hot product, so, and then not cook it straight away. Give yourself food poisoning. So I'm just removing the casings. Some sausages have that really good casing where no matter how much you try you can't get it off because it's so thin. And those ones I just tend to leave alone, and they're just sort of just disintegrate sort of thing. So I'm just mixing it in. Usually with my Christmas stuff in, I like to add sausage meat in, and I also like to add the crispy bacon that comes off of the turkey. But because I've got to prep more now, I'll have to cook the bacon separate and just add it in. But I will be recording the prep as usual, as I've done for the last 2 years. Again, them videos are up as well if you need any need or want to watch any Christmas prep. I have got 2 lots of Christmases with hauls and Christmas food prep and etc. Again, just ask in the comments and we can list them for you. You can see, stuffing bowls don't take long to make, and they don't take long to cook either. These will all be prepped as well, ready for Christmas, into the freezer. I'm not on about these ones, but that's what I will do. In-laws are coming for Christmas. They haven't come around for a long time, since I took my knee out, to be honest. It's never really recovered properly, even though it's not as bad as it was. It's never recovered properly, so... And I know what I'm like. I will stress myself out, even though there's no need for me to stress out. And I try to do more. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, because we have people coming round. For me, I like to do more. So this apparently was a large chicken. Weren't very large when it was cooked, trust me. So does anybody have any ideas what they're doing for puddings for Christmas? Are you doing a get-ahead pudding that you're going to freeze? Because there are some. There's one coming up after this, actually. So I'm going to rotisserie this so it cooks a lot faster, stays juicier. And obviously you get that crispy skin all the way around. And in this house, as you know, I get the chicken skin, Steve gets the pork skin. So just pop that rotisserie, stick through there. It's not as hard as I make it look. But anyway, I got it on the rotisserie stick, and then I just season it. There's a couple of ridges on that thing, and sometimes it's tricky to get the ridges over there. There we go, look. And guys, always wash your hands. I'm going to be touching the salt pot, so just wash your hands if you know you're going to be touching something. You do not want food poisoning. Over here in the UK, I know it's different in America, because you bleach your chickens. We don't do that over here, so it's not advisable. People still do wash them, but it's not advised to wash your chickens over here because we don't need to. And all you're doing is creating more of a risk for cross-contamination and food poisoning. So beautiful. And the skin was very, very tasty. So that was Sunday dinner. I did cheat with the Yorkshire puddings. Naughty. This is a get ahead peanut butter cheesecake if you're into peanut butter. So it's crushed roasted salted peanuts with, I will put the full recipe down below because this one's not on the channel, with Oreo biscuits, cookies as you call them in America. And you mix the peanuts in with the cookies. Then I'm just going to do some melted butter. Do not go by the amount that I used. I would highly advise, I will change it when I write the recipe out, but I personally think that I use too much butter. I'm quite happy to say that. I got the butter amount wrong in this. I'm not perfect, I'm not a chef, I'm just a home cook. But yes, next time I make it, I would definitely use less butter. Because of the cream in the cookies and that, you see. Look how quick the cream in the cookies melted. I could have got away with less butter. probably 80 grams and not 115. So I did press this out like you do, and this is a 9-inch pan. So I do recommend you don't go below a 9-inch pan, whether it's circle, square, or whether you do it in a deep tray. Make sure you use a big one. Press this out, and then I'm going to bake it 15 to 20 minutes in the oven on gas 4 or 350F. Three large pots of cream cheese. And these are 300-gram pots. Use the biggest mixing bowl you've got. You will see in a minute. I caused myself struggle because I didn't change the mixing bowl, and I should have done. So I have some Reese's peanut butter. This is what I chose to use. You could use a natural one. I've got some pip and nut, which is a mixture of sweet and salty. But I wouldn't recommend, personally, I mean, you can do what you like. The topping that goes on at the end, I wouldn't recommend the natural, because the oil separates a lot easier than this type of peanut butter. When I do a recipe that includes anything peanut, oh, it's hard work with the cleanup, because I don't have to just wash once. I wash more than once and rinse them with boiling water and things like that, because obviously I don't want no cross contamination, nothing left in any bowls or in utensils because of Caitlin and her nut allergy. So I am super careful when I make anything like this. And she knows not to touch it because she's told what it is when it's in the fridge wrapped up. So she knows. So I'm just going to mix that up. Attempt to. And I broke that whisk doing this. If you've got a stand mixer, get your stand mixer out. I have got one, but I just couldn't bother to get it out. At this point, it was where I realised, yeah, I should have got it out, because it's got a bigger bowl for a start. And even now, knowing that I needed bigger bowl, I still didn't get one. I chucked everything in this one still. Just make sure it's all mixed up. I think this is where one of the, I don't even know what you call them. Just one of them bits at the side of the whisk came loose, so I just swapped it. You just mix that in well. So I'm adding in some cream. Should you wish, you could swap the double cream for sour cream. Entirely up to you. Cornflour, this stops it from splitting when it's in the oven. I don't mean the actual cheesecake curdling or anything. I mean, you know when you get the cracks along the top of a baked cheesecake? It stops that. Well, it has for me. You'll see I'm going to swap my whisk in a minute. I've had a look online and I can't find another one like this, a small one. But this is the whisk part of it is firm. It's not flimsy even though it's silicone. So I want one that's firm. That's why I like to use this one. So I need to get another one or two. I do swap over to my big one in a minute because I ain't got a choice. So we're going to add in whole eggs and then 1 egg yolk. And these are large. Now I left, once I've made it, I left 2 pieces out and I sliced it all up and froze the rest of it. Freezes perfectly. Defrost within an hour. But if you want to get ahead cheesecake, then you can do it with this one. Good one to put away for Christmas. I have got other cheesecakes as well, and they do freeze. Again, I think I've got Biscoff, coffee, citrus. I think there's a few. Again, if you would like any cheesecakes listed, all you've got to do is just request it in the comment section. This does mix in. It's a lot of eggs. This is where I switch to my whisk. And you can see a whisk does a much better job of combining those eggs in. There. So you want to fill your tin up. It's nice and thick. Now I've got a couple of oven-proof dishes there. I'm going to put some in there as well. There's the dog, look, she loves peanut butter. Hovering and waiting. So this is sat in a water bath. There's 3 lots of foil across the bottom of this baking dish to stop any water from getting in. And this cooks for 1 hour and 15 minutes at gas 4 or 350F. Once that timer is up, you just need to crack the door open, stick a wooden spoon in there to stop it from closing, and just allow it to cool naturally in the oven. And it is recommended really that you let it set up overnight. So just once it's cooled down, refrigerate it overnight. So it's been in the fridge overnight. You can see that cornflour has done its job. You can see that the cheesecake pulls away from the sides. If you're going to decide to just freeze this ready for Christmas, then freeze it as it is with no topping on. I have froze mine with topping, but it don't turn out so good. So just skip this part until you actually use the cheesecake. And it's just melted peanut butter as the topping. There. Easy. An hour in the fridge. I should have gone around the edges of it really. It'd have made for a tidier cheesecake, but oh well. Oh well, didn't affect the taste none. So this recipe is, someone at my door, was requested by Karen Pridemore. She's an absolutely lovely lady. And she was after a peanut butter cheesecake. And I didn't mean to make it for her a while ago. So apologies for that, Karen. But here it is now. Sorry, you can hear the dog barking because there's someone at the door. Don't know who that is laughing. So there's the cheesecake all done. That's me filming, obviously, because it's not focused. There we go. It's always the same when I do it. I don't have the patience that Steve does. So there you go. A long one for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, drop them comments down below if you need anything, such as the recipes, etc. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video on the way out, please. Thumbs up. Does so much for the video. Sends it out to many more people. Leave a comment. Share if you can. Hit the notification bell. And I will see you next time. Bye.